In this video, we are going to talk about how to solve equations with rational exponents. So step 1 is to isolate the term with the exponent. Step 2 is to raise each side to the reciprocal power. So reciprocal, remember, meaning the flip. So if my exponent was 2/3, the reciprocal would be 3/2. If my exponent was 1/2, my reciprocal would be 2/1. So kind of keeping that in mind. Solve for the variables, and then we always have to check our answers because there could be extraneous solutions. So if I look at this first one, I can see that I have x squared equals 16. Now, the reciprocal of a squared is a 1/2 power, which is really the same, again, as if I had x squared equals 16. And remember, the 1/2 power is the same as taking the square root of both sides. So either way, 16 to the 1/2 power is the same as the square root of 16, which is going to be plus or minus 4. And then we would check these. If I put in positive 4 squared, I get 16. If I put in negative 4 squared, I get 16. So if I were checking, if I put in 4, I get 16. And if I put in negative 4, I get 16. All right, similar idea here. I have x to the 3rd power, so that's 3/1. So the reciprocal power would be 1/3. Which again, when we have a 3rd power, that's the same as if I were going to take the cubed root. So the 1/3 power and the cubed root, remember, those are the same thing. So either way you go about this is correct. And so then x is going to equal 3. If I were to check it, I'd put 3 in for x, and 3 cubed is 27. So either way, I wrote it twice here because I was going to show you the two ways on here, but basically either raising it to the reciprocal power or taking the root based on the power. Either way is going to help us solve. So let's talk about if I were to raise this to the 1/2 power. Remember, we multiply our exponents, so 2 times 1/2 would leave me with just 1. And so 16 to the 1/2 power, again, is the same as the square root of 16, which would give me plus or minus 4. Same on this side. The 3rd, I'd raise it to the 1/3 power. So that'd give me, if I multiply 3 times 1/3, I'm going to get 1. And so I have 27 to the 1/3 power, which is the same as the cubed root of 27, which would be 3. So either way you approach these problems, you're going to get the same answer. All right, so now let's approach this with a different type of exponent. So I have x to the 3/2. So the reciprocal of 3/2 is going to be 2/3. So I'm going to raise both sides to the 2/3 power. And so essentially what I'm doing is I'm multiplying 3/2 times 2/3, which would give me 6/6, which would give me 1. So I'm left with x to the 1st power, and then 27 to the 2/3 power. All right, so how do I evaluate 27 to the 2/3 power? So remember, the bottom number is the root type. So in this case, I'm going to have the cubed root of 27. The top number is the power. And now you can put the power on the inside or the outside. I'm going to put it on the outside in this case because I know that I can take the cubed root of 27, and the cubed root of 27 is 3. So if I take the cubed root of 27, I'm going to be left with 3 squared, which I know is 9. So it'd be way easier to take the cubed root and then square it versus squaring and then taking the cubed root. And so this would be my final answer. You could have also squared the 27 and then taken the cubed root. So 27 squared would be 729, and then the cubed root of that would be 9. Now, this part, I don't think you could do in your head versus these steps, I think you could. So that's why it's easier to take the cubed root and then square it first. So I'm going to show that method. All right, same idea. So if I have the reciprocal of 4/3 would be 3/4. So I'm going to raise both sides to the 3/4 power. And again, if I do 4/3 times 3/4, because when we have power to a power, we're going to multiply. I'm left with 12/12, which is just x to the 1st. And I'm going to have 256 to the 3/4 power. So again, the bottom number is the root, the top number is the power. So I'm going to take the fourth root of 256, and then that's going to be cubed. So let's think. Fourth power, so it's not 2 to the fourth power 16, 3 to the fourth power 3, 9, 27, 81. 4 to the fourth power would be 4, then 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, times 4 is 256. So it is 4. So 4 to the fourth power is 256. That means the fourth root of 256 is 4. So 4 to the third power will be 4, then 16, then 64. And so x would equal 64. But we do have to be careful. So when we're taking an even root of something, we're actually going to end up with plus or minus. And so I'm going to actually end up with plus or minus 64. So let's check it really quick. So I'm going to do 64 to the 4/3 power equals 256. Plug that in my calculator. If I do negative 64 to the 4/3 power, I also get 256. So both of those are good. All right, let's look at number 7. All right, so now I have x minus 2 all to the 3/2 power. So again, this whole part is being raised to this power. So I'm going to take this whole side and raise it to the reciprocal power. So if I have 3/2, the reciprocal will be 2/3. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So again, if I multiply 3/2 times 2/3, I'm going to be left with x minus 2 to the first power, which is just x minus 2. On this side, I'm going to have negative 8 to the 2/3 power, keeping in mind that this is the root, the bottom number is the root, and the top number is the power. So I'm going to have the cubed root of negative 8 all squared. So x minus 2 is going to equal, well, the cubed root of negative 8 is negative 2. So negative 2 squared is going to be 4. Finish solving by adding 2, and I'm going to get that x is 6. All right, so now let's check this solution. 6 minus 2 to the 3/2 power equals negative 8. 4 to the 3/2 power equals negative 8. Well, 4 to the 3/2 power, this would be the square root cubed. So I'm going to have the square root of 4 cubed, which would be 2 cubed, which doesn't equal negative 8. It equals positive 8. So actually, this solution doesn't work. So the answer to this problem is no solution. So that's why it's so important to check our answers, because sometimes we're going to get no solution. All right, so we always want to isolate the part that has the exponent. So I want to isolate this x to the 5/2. So the first thing I'm going to do is minus this 10, and then I'm going to divide by 4. So first I'm going to minus this 10 to the other side. So I'll have 4x to the 5/2 equals 128. Then I'm going to divide by 4, and so I'll have x to the 5/2 equals 32. Now again, I want to raise both sides to the reciprocal power. So if I have 5 over 2, I'm going to raise it to 2 over 5. And so it'll give me x to the first power, which is just the same as x. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this now. The bottom is the root, and the top is the power. So I'm going to have the 5th root of 32 squared. So 5th root of 32. So since it's even, I'm guessing 2 to the 5th power is 32. So let's check. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Yes, this is true. So that means the 5th root of 32 is 2, and 2 squared would give me 4. All right, let's check this really quick. So 4x to the 5/2 plus 10 equals 138. So 4 times 4 to the 5/2 plus 10 equals 138. Be careful about your order of operations. I need to do 4 to the 5/2 power before I multiply by the 4 in front. So I'm going to have 4 times, well, let's do this on the side. 4 to the 5 halves power is the same as the square root of 4 to the 5th power. So the bottom is the root type, the top number is the power. So the square root of 4 is 2, 2 to the 5th power is 32. So I'm going to have 4 times 32 plus 10 equals 138. 4 times 32 is 128. So I have 128 plus 10 equals 138. Well, that's true. So 4 is my solution. All right, so on this side, again, I have a quantity. This whole part is in parentheses, so 4x plus 8 all to the 4/5 power. So I'm going to raise this whole side to the 5/4 power. And so what I'm going to be left with is 4x plus 8 to the 1st power, which is just 4x plus 8. And I have 16 to the 5/4 power. Now again, I have a 4th root, and anytime I have an even root, I'm going to get plus or minus in my answer, so kind of keep that in mind. So I'm taking the 4th root of 16 all to the 5th power. So I'm going to have 4x plus 5 equals, well, the 4th root of 16 is plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2 to the 5th power is plus or minus 32. So I'm going to have 4x plus 8 equals 32, and 4x plus 8 equals negative 32. So just like when we took square roots when we were solving quadratics and we got plus or minus, when we take a 4th root, it's going to be the same idea. So let's finish solving these. So I'm going to minus 8. 24, divide by 4. So one of my solutions is potentially 6. And so I'm going to get 4x equals negative 40. And so x equals negative 10. And then I need to check both of these. So again, you always check it with that original equation. So 4x plus 8 to the 4/5 power equals 16. So we're going to have 4 times 6 plus 8 all to the 4/5 is supposed to equal 16. So 24 plus 8 would be 32 to the 4/5 power. So I can actually just type that in my calculator. If I do 32 to the 4/5 power, I do get 16, which makes sense because it's the 5th root of 32 to the 4th power, which would be 2 to the 4th power, which would be 16. All right, let's check it with the negative 10. So 4 times negative 10 plus 8 to the 4/5 power equals 16. So I'm going to have negative 40 plus 8, which is negative 32. Now, this is an odd root. So because the bottom number is odd, so I can take an odd root of a negative number. If the bottom number was even, I couldn't take the root of a negative number. So again, I'm going to take the 5th root of negative 32 and then raise the 4th power. So that'd be negative 2 to the 4th power would be 16. So this one also works. So both of my solutions work. All right, last one. So now I have this whole side raised to the 2/3 power. So I'm going to take this whole side and raise it to the 3/2 power. So I'm going to have negative 10x minus 5 all to the 1st power, which is just the same as negative 10x minus 5. And it's going to be the 25 to the 3/2 power. So again, this means I have a square root, which is even, meaning I'm going to have plus or minus when it comes to my solution. So this is going to equal the square root of 25 cubed, which means it's going to equal plus or minus 5 cubed. And so that's going to be plus or minus 125. So I'm going to have negative 10x minus 5 equals 125, and negative 10x minus 5 equals negative 125. So I'm going to add 5. And then I have negative 10x equals 130. I'm going to divide by negative 10, and so then my x will equal negative 13. So that's one of my potential solutions. I'm still going to need to check. So I'm going to add 5 to get negative 120, divide by negative 10, and I'm going to get that x is 12. So those are my two potential solutions. So let's check to make sure they both work. So I'm always checking them again with that original equation. So I'm going to have negative 10 times negative 13 minus 5 to the 2/3 power should equal 25. So this would be positive 130 minus 5 would be 125 to the 2/3 power. So I can type that in my calculator or think about it as the cubed root of 125 squared would be 5 squared, which would be 25. I'm going to do the same thing but with the 12. Okay, so negative 10 times 12 is negative 120 minus 5 is negative 125. So again, negative 125 to the 2/3 power is the cubed root of negative 125 squared, which would be negative 5 squared, which would be 25. So both of these solutions work.